So, questions, please raise your hand and identify yourself. Hello.
Thanks a lot. Matthew Lee, Inner City Press. One trend that's emerged, or that I've at least been reporting on, is sometimes internet services being cut off, which is obviously a big part of the economy. But there have been, in Cameroon for 94 days it was turned off. In Gambia, before things were resolved, things were turned off. And I'm just wondering, can you speak to sort of the place of both the internet now in Africa's economy, and steps maybe the African Union or any of the various bodies you're a part of might take to be sure that even when there's political tensions, that this part of the economy can go? And
in as much as we are working towards integration, we are working towards a coalition of coalescing the various sovereignties, we still very much have to recognize that we are still living the reality of sovereign, independent African countries with leaders who have to cope with matters of security, their own security, and the national security. And in furtherance of that, sometimes we'll have to exercise powers that reduce the freedom and what the press can do. And among some of those might be cutting off internet services. However disagreeable this might be to us in our work, we still have to recognize that we're dealing with sovereign, independent countries whose leaders sometimes have to act in ways that protect their own interests. Those interests, in so far as the route to power have been derived from the people, may tend to align more closely with the people. But there are times when there may be divergences, and in those instances, it is quite understandable, though not necessarily the most favorite position that one wants to be. The reality obliges us to recognize that power does not exist in the vacuum, and you have to operate within those constraints. Those are some of the problems that we face, but the reality is that that is what the truth is. Thank you.
on sexual abuse and exploitation, even in the last month, there have been at least 4 separate reports of alleged abuse by troop peacekeepers from Mauritania, Morocco, Pakistan. So I'm wondering, do you think your new approach is yet having an impact? What would you repatriate some battalions if they don't punish them? And since everyone else is, I need to ask you about Cameroon. I'm sorry to ask you, but since October 1st, there have been hundreds of people killed there. Your envoy, Francois Fall, has said he was going to go but hasn't gone. People are extremely concerned, and I'm just wondering, are we missing something? Are you preventing conflict in this instance, or what is the UN doing? Thank you.
But first of all, we have already repatriated one of the forces that was present in the Central African Republic. So these are things that we are taking very seriously. And this visit with our victims' rights advocate is exactly to demonstrate to the countries our total commitment. And I have to say that I'm having a very positive response. We have presented to member states, namely troop-contributing countries, a compact with a number of very important things to ensure prevention and also to ensure training and to make sure that there is no impunity. I can announce that 72 countries have already signed our compacts and 19 are seriously considering it in the process of preparing the signature. And that 57 heads of state have joined the circle of leadership to commit themselves to fight sexual exploitation and abuse. So we are building an alliance with member states in order to make sure that we all work together for the zero-tolerance policy to become a reality. This, of course, will take time to produce results on the ground. There is a lot to be done, but we are totally committed to this policy and to achieve results in it.
Ali?
Thank you.
24 Congress people wrote to you yesterday urging you to ask for a consultation or AOB on the killings that are taking place in Cameroon. What do you think of it?
I haven't seen that letter, but I would certainly be open to it. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Thank you.
The letter has been delivered. The answer has been given. Paul Biya, we'll see you at